We're back, baby. It's the Charity Stripe. Hit your free throws because they all free. Joshua Fisher, Nikki Snacks, Crider. Nick, playoffs are here. Very exciting time in football.
That they are.
You know what also is here, though?
What's
QB
here?
carousel.
Yeah.
Draft.
And coaching carousel.
Coaching carousel. Derek Carr said his goodbye to Raider Nation.
Yep.
Garoppolo will probably be available. We're assuming Aaron Rodgers is available. And then obviously you have Bryce Young, C.J. Stroud, Will Levis, and then Anthony Richardson is a name that'll probably fly up draft boards as the process begins.
Yep. So let's identify the teams that want a quarterback.
Yes.
Colts.
Yes.
Raiders now.
Yep. Panthers.
Yep. Falcons, maybe.
Maybe.
I mean, I feel like Ritter wasn't terrible towards the end.
If you're Arthur Smith, right?
Shout out to his family.
Shout out to his family, of course. And it's your third year as the head coach of the Atlanta Falcons.
Right.
Like, you're really going to hang on Ritter's pretty
Probably
good?
not. Probably
not. You're probably in a position where you have to trade up and draft a quarterback.
Yep.
Or you're in a position
Make a big
where
splash.
You make a splash. So the splash, I don't know if Derek Carr's a splash.
No, it's not. Yeah, that'd be funny, getting Mariota and then getting Carr from the Raiders. All right, so Falcons. Saints?
Yeah.
Maybe the Bucks. We have to see how it plays out, Brady.
Commanders.
There's a lot.
There's a lot of
Packers,
teams.
if Rodgers is gone.
Or
do you think they're going to ride Love?
I have, from one of the smallest of sample sizes I saw of Love this year, and again, at the end of the game, we saw him come in. I have more faith in Love, and I have more faith in LaFleur in the run game of Green Bay than I do Ritter.
Okay.
And what they have going on in Atlanta.
That's fair.
So I'll leave Green They at least have to see what they have with Love.
Yeah. What are the Cardinals going to do without Kyler?
I mean, they got a tank. Wouldn't it be interesting if, let's say, Green Bay, rides Love and they stink? Let's say Green Bay sucks.
And Rodgers was right.
Not even that Rodgers was right.
Or they get Caleb Williams.
And they get Caleb Williams, and then they go from Favre to Rodgers to Caleb Williams.
Yeah, that'd be sweet.
If the NFL's really scripted,
yeah,
Caleb Williams will be a Green Bay Packer. Now, let's just maybe start at the top, though. If you're the Chicago Bears, a lot's been floating around. And I at first I was like, no way they trade Justin Fields.
I don't see it.
You don't see it at all.
No.
You think you just trade the pick away and get whatever you can.
And maybe you just make the pick. You just make the pick and get Jalen Carter.
You think you just... Really?
Why not?
Because I think you could get a king's ransom. If we're talking about...
Do you, though?
Yeah. I do. Because Goff went for a lot and Wentz went for a lot. Both those guys were traded.
Then you trade it. Because I think that the Bears are in a place right now where their problems aren't the quarterback. They need to mature that team, and they need to grow it, and they need to build in other areas. And if you want to do that, then you either make the pick by addressing a need, or you get your king's ransom, like you said, where you can stock up and get more guys.
Okay, so let's say, the make the pick point for the Bears is you get a guy that, hey, Carter, Will Anderson, one of these dudes, look, a can't miss prospect, and you just get a guy in the building that you know is an absolute stud.
Right.
So there is that school of thought. Now let me ask you this. Let's say they do go for the king's ransom route. Who do you think's the team that traded him to go get him? And who is him?
Yeah, could be the Colts, where they're sitting at 3 right now.
4.
They're sitting at 4.
If you're
Could be the Raiders, honestly.
7.
Yeah. Raiders are feeling like they're in a spot right now where they're competitive. They played close games this season. They've got a good running back. They've got Devontae Adams, not trying to waste much time. They want to go and get the guy that they want. Mm-hmm. Austin McDaniels, if he has another bad season, he's out. So,
yeah.
He's got to risk it to get the biscuit,
And he's out.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
There's no 3
You're
strikes
done.
in the NFL. 2 strikes and you're out.
You're done. You're back to being a coordinator.
Yeah, forever.
For the rest of your career.
That's it. So, he may be in a position, because it ups your biological clock. That's the only thing I'd be like, all right, this is going to be Fields' 3rd year. Maybe they look at a guy like Stroud or Bryce Young who's a bit more accurate, make that pick and get a smaller ransom for Justin Fields, because he is obviously extremely valuable. Another team we haven't discussed is the Titans. They're sitting at 11.
True.
Are they in a position where they have to go get a Rodgers or a Lamar Jackson if he's available, or Derek Carr, and try to continue their quarterback carousel?
Probably. I would say...
Or they trade up.
I don't see them trading up. I don't see them going for a young guy. because they took Malik Willis last season, and I know it's not like this, like the future or anything like that.
Yeah.
But like they have the young guy in the building. I think that they want a veteran guy in there that like is a true quarterback, someone like Rodgers. I think it's Rodgers or bust for them.
How many firsts for Rodgers?
One, maybe.
Like this first round pick and maybe a third or a fourth.
Yeah, because I mean, what he's got 1 year left on his contract.
2 years, a couple years left, but like, he's got like 2 or 3 years left.
Right.
So like you're the Titans, you can't bury your like 2 years of your future.
Right.
Like honestly, like Russ, it's ironic because guys like Tyreek Hill, Diggs, Devontae, AJ Brown, pretty much everybody but Hollywood Brown, who should not have been in this group. All the times that a team has gone in and spent a first round plus, like a first and a third or first and a second, like they did for Devontae, or like the Deviant picks for Hill and like Diggs and so on, worked out.
Yeah.
But now every time we've seen it with the at least for this year with the quarterback for Russ, failed.
Stafford, it worked. They got a Super Bowl.
I don't.
Your ultimate goal is to win the Super Bowl. They got.
Right.
They did what they.
I know they sold their, but that was a Toronto Raptors Kawhi Leonard move. You sold your soul to the devil for 1 year.
Had to get over the hump.
You did it. You won with that team. You did it. You brought a championship to Donald, Ramsey, McVay. Stafford gets one. Hallelujah.
First Super Bowl of LA. In LA.
I don't know that they don't eventually do it with Goff. I don't know that they don't. Because he got there.
Yeah, he did.
He was great for the Lions. He was so good for the Lions this year that they are in a position where if they really wanted to, they have the 6 and they have like the 15, they can go up and get it.
I'm with you. I think they could have gotten that done with Goff as well.
Really?
I'm just saying. Yeah, I think so. He had a great season this year.
Yeah.
I think that all the moves that you make as a GM in a season, obviously they accumulate towards the end goal, the Super Bowl. So it's hindsight. Like we can't just play, if Goff was there, he probably could have got done too. But like ultimately, like their formula worked. Whatever it was.
I'll give you the Stafford. And I'll give a slight incomplete to the Deshaun Watson. So far, not so good.
Yeah, but I mean,
we'll see him next year.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Takes time.
Okay. So Rodgers is available. You're not giving. Are you giving up even a second round pick for Carr?
No.
Third, maybe.
Yeah, third's fine.
2/3 a conditional second.
Sure. Whatever.
What about Garoppolo? Is he even on your radar? Like, if you're like the...
He's never really been so, like...
You're not
amazing by me. No, not really. Like, I like him as, like, a player, and I like him... as a person and as, like, a game manager.
Yeah.
But, like, we're really going to say that Jimmy Garoppolo is going to, like, win a shootout for you?
No.
You know, like, if you're playing in the AFC West, or you're playing against one of those teams, you know, you're playing against Burrow, Josh Allen, like, you really trust Jimmy Garoppolo to be your guy to will you back into a game? I don't think after another injury, like, I don't think so. So if I'm a team like the Titans or if I'm a team like the Jets even, I'm going to do all I can to go out and get Aaron Rodgers. If Lamar Jackson's available, I'm going to do all I can to get him.
Yeah.
I don't know that the Ravens are going to make him available. I think they're going to do what's right and lock him up. You have a guy like that. Like, I know he's had the injuries and stuff, but like he's not going to play this playoff game, I don't think. And like part of it is him. But also, I think part of it's the Ravens as well, being like, look, let's take care of this guy for the future.
No. I disagree with you. I don't think they should pay him. I think that's a bad idea.
Really?
What is you are correct, but you just said, what is the most important thing in football?
Winning.
It's everything. To a T. Joe Namath is in the Hall of Fame, and he has more interceptions than touchdowns in his career. Winning is absolutely... We remember the winners.
But Lamar's in his, 5th year?
Yeah, he's been here for a minute.
Okay, but, like, has he always had a team to go to the Super Bowl?
They were 14-2 one year.
It's not his fault, though. I wouldn't say that it was because he had poor play.
They were in first in the AFC last year, bro. And he goes down, and they don't make the playoffs. They were up there in the upper echelon of the teams this year, and he goes down, and now they're going to get bounced in the first round.
I just think that they already have a guy who's a top 15, top 10 quarterback. Like, why would you hit the reset button and go look for a different guy? Like, you're not going to get Rodgers.
No.
You're not going to get anyone who's already established. You're going to have to go out and take a chance on a guy in the draft and see if he pans out. And if he does pan out, it's going to take time.
in my opinion, the Ravens, the way they've always been built, the way they've won both Super Bowls, defense.
Sure. Then, so to your point, is it doesn't matter if he's their quarterback.
Exactly. So I'm not going to lock up $200 million in that guy.
But I would argue that, like, if you're saying that anyone can really win there as a quarterback, you want to put yourself in the best situation possible to get there first. So that's winning the regular season.
I agree with you, but I don't think he puts them in the best position. I would rather, like, quite honestly.
What was their record this year when he didn't play? Did they win a game when he didn't play?
I don't even know.
I don't think they did.
Exactly.
I don't think they won a game when he was gone.
Because the drop-off because Huntley is not a starting quarterback. Not even close. So I'm not saying you go get Rodgers, but you might be in a position, like, and I can't even say Garoppolo because guess what? That's like, pot calling the kettle black here because he's in the same boat because where's he playing right now? He's not.
Right.
So you might be in a position you can go get Trey Lance for cheap if you're the Ravens, but I don't even know if you want to do that.
Could you get him for cheap?
Cheaper. I mean, that was the Niners are. The Niners are also a team that they can just plug and play a guy.
Yeah, but why would you go after a guy who's damaged?
Maybe not.
Replacing him with a guy who's damaged.
I don't think if you're the Ravens. I don't think Derek Carr's a great quarterback. I don't think he's a bad quarterback. I think he's fine. I think he's a starter. I honestly think this Ravens team, if they were going into the playoffs, if they move Lamar, because you can get a lot for Lamar.
Yeah.
If you're like the Falcons, and you're like Arthur Smith, and you feel the pressure, and you want to get your third year, you want to get a guy in the building that can really ride this thing.
Lamar,
but you're giving up.
I don't mind
first. So you get the 8th overall pick if you're the Ravens, best defensive player available. You have the 23rd pick again if you're the Ravens. You want to move back and get more picks, or you want to get another receiver because they can't hit around the receiver.
Wait, they're not trading Lamar. He's going to be a free agent.
They could tag and trade.
Yeah.
You're right, but they could tag and trade. So if I'm the Ravens, I'm going to tag him and trade him. Because because you were in January and he can't play.
Yeah.
He's
you're right.
Unbelievable. He's an MVP. He's a superstar.
You're right.
He's Kyler Murray on steroids, but he can't play. So we've been jamming around these quarterbacks. Is there a team like the Panthers, the Colts, or the Raiders? Let's say these 3 teams. I'll throw the Commanders in there too. Because I think they've like lost enough games where they're not in the playoffs and they are in like a 15-16 range where you're not giving up your entire life to go up in like the 1 or the 2 spot. Of the Raiders, the Commanders, the Colts, and the Panthers, which of those teams should trade up to get a quarterback because they are closest to contending?
Well, I think for the Colts, they're going to get a quarterback. Like, they don't have to really trade up. Like, they're probably not going to get the number 1 guy. They're probably not going to get Bryce Young. But they can get Stroud. They can get Levis. Like, if they're sitting at 4. I really don't think that they're going to miss out. The Panthers looked really good this season.
I'm with you. Good. Good call.
I'll give them that. Like, they had a great run game. Their defense played really well. Like, with a head coaching firing and, like, the shuffling of their quarterback all season long, 3 quarterbacks, I think the Panthers are probably the closest, to be honest.
And how are their receivers? They're like fine.
DJ Moore's okay. Like,
Terrace Marshall's okay.
Yeah, but
DJ Moore's good.
I think partially because that division's also more up for grabs next season than the AFC West. Like, the Raiders still have to contend with the Chiefs and the Chargers. Like, they're going to be at the bottom for a minute and I think they're fine. I just don't think that a quarterback's going to really get them over that hump to compete with Mahomes yet and Herbert. So I'd say the Panthers because you have a team like the Saints who are also in need right now. We're talking about the Falcons on this segment. And then we also don't know what's going on with the Bucs. I mean, they barely got in the playoffs. Like, that was the worst division in football this season.
By far. Can I ask another question?
Maybe second worst. The Souths were both bad.
The South stinks. The opposite of college football. Let me ask you this, though. Because last year, he went for a first-round pick and a second-round pick. The Raiders, like you're saying, at best are the 3rd team.
Right.
There's no saying that they could get the right guy in Denver and they could completely flip this thing around. They could, conceivably.
You're saying...
Like, Denver on paper, forget what they did this season. Denver on paper has the guys.
Wait. So you're saying...
The Raiders could be the 4th team in that division.
Right.
So my question to you is, Do they even move Devontae this year again? Does he get flipped again?
Man, I don't know.
It's a tougher question.
That's tough. Like I said, it's like if they're getting rid of Devontae, then they're like they're submitting to the tank almost, or like they're trying to start over, rebuild, and McDaniels isn't going to do that.
Yeah.
Like he needs to win.
Yeah.
You're saying it right now. Like this is his only shot. This is it.
Yeah.
Clock strike 9, 12.
12.
I'm thinking of 9 lives. The clock struck 12, and he's out of 9 lives.
Right. Clock struck 9 at PST. I mean, it's in the midnight.
Exactly.
PST. Got you, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah. For me, I think yes, Devontae's maybe probably the best receiver in football. Him or Jefferson or Hill, like pick your poison.
Yeah.
But if I'm the Raiders, his value didn't diminish a single bit.
No.
I get a second round pick. Let's say I get a second round pick for Kari. Add a second round pick. Let's say I can go to the Giants, who are contending right now. Is there another team in the playoffs right now that can go get that like needs Devontae?
I mean, anyone could use Devontae.
I mean, yeah. Sorry, it's probably a bad question.
I mean, the Giants are a really good fit. I think that they're a team that all season long we've been asking who are their receivers. I mean, it's just like
Slayton, Hodges.
Yeah. Dude,
McCringleberry.
I mean, honestly, this is like a crazy take, but like, kind of the Chiefs. I mean, I know they've got Juju, they've got Kelsey, but like, come on, we're really gonna say Tony and McCall Hardman are like?
No, I was actually gonna counter that with the Bills.
Yeah, I mean, they have Diggs and Gabe Davis. Like those, that's
they don't
pretty
need
solid.
to, but like, imagine they had Diggs and Adams.
Yeah.
What if they lose? What if they lose again?
I think they will. I don't think they're gonna win it this year.
Oh no, they have too many games where they stall.
And we're gonna be sitting here same time next year or after the Super Bowl, whatever, and you're gonna say to me, "What's the most important thing? Winning." Josh Allen hasn't done it yet. Like, it's gonna be the same thing. It's so hard. Like the Lamar thing. It's so hard to win a Super Bowl.
It is so hard.
Like only so many guys have done it. Like
I say that all the time.
There's a reason why. Like in the last 20-something years, like you see the same names. It's Brady. It's Roethlisberger. It's Manning.
Mahomes.
It's Mahomes. Like those are the guys. It's not like it's so frequent. Rodgers has one. Drew Brees has one. Like
Rivers.
0.
Ryan.
0. Almost had one. 0.
And it's like the same thing in the
Flacco.
NBA. Like the same thing in the NBA is like, oh, you can't win with James Harden. Like, okay, who can you win with? LeBron, Steph, Kawhi, KD.
Yeah,
That's it.
Giannis.
Like, 5 guys. Like you can't. You're right. You can only win with a certain amount of guys unless your team's really good. I think Buffalo's great. I just think it's a tough break that they have to go through Kansas. Going through Kansas City is so brutal, and I just can't fathom a world, and we'll get on.
They don't have to go through Kansas City.
Oh, right.
They'd play a neutral game if it got there.
Oh, okay.
They're playing in Atlanta.
Okay. I'm into that.
Yeah.
That's their best shot.
This is their best shot they'll ever have. I feel like. I mean, they went to 5 Super Bowls in a row and lost, but 4.
But that wasn't that bad. 4.
Yeah, 4 Super Bowls in a row and lost. Man, my numbers are all wrong today.
Yeah, I think this Chiefs team is amazing. But like you're saying, they could use if they could. Their weapons are like they don't have Tyreek Hill. Like they could be stymied.
Here's the thing. I really think that this season, it's been the most wide open season that I've seen in recent memory. Oh. I really think anyone can win it this year.
And that's my issue. Ultimately, going back to Lamar Jackson as we close out, I think they could have won it.
Besides the Dolphins and the Ravens, because they've got quarterback injury issues, they're not going to make it past week 1, in my opinion. But
if the Jags beat you guys, and they can the Jags can
conceivably do it. It would be crazy if they did, but I'm not counting them out. I think they've played really well. Yeah, no, they've played really well this season. But I mean, Trevor Lawrence in his second season, Doug Peterson in his first season, they had all those, off-season moves. It's not inconceivable. It's very unlikely. I would say that there's 2 teams that for sure will not win it this year in the playoffs right now. It's the Dolphins and it's the Ravens.
What about the Giants?
Probably not them either. But, I mean, there has been magic in New York before as a wild card team, so never know.
I think it's I think it's going to be a really interesting battle, and it's ultimately going to come down to this Bills-Bengals game. That's it.
Do you think the winner of that game wins it all?
I think it depends for the Chiefs. Like, if the Bengals win, they have to go to Kansas City. They got to go to Kansas City, which they've won there before. I don't know. That trio is a gauntlet. I couldn't even. We need to take a break. We'll be back in just a second. We'll get to the NFC. Got to get a break. Fisher, Kreider, Tosopoulos will join us later. Charity Stripe, pitch of free throws. Enjoy.